Hi, it's John Glynn, and I'm going to be looking at the text again, text tool, but this time it's going to be at the horizontal mask tool, text tool down in the bottom here. Click on your big T in the T box in your toolbox on the left-hand side in the drawer options, and choices appear at the bottom of your picture below your photograph, and one of these choices will be this horizontal type mask tool, and when you click on that and make it active, choices will appear. You'll also have a vertical option, but I'm just going to look at the horizontal because it repeats itself anyway, so if you learn one you'll know how the other one works, but most people do horizontal type rather than vertical type. So we have the horizontal ticked on. On the right hand side you'll have the different types of fonts. On this particular tool you have to make choices at the start of your before you start working. Okay, you can't edit later because you're not using normal text. It's actually going to cut out a portion of your photograph so that you can move that portion of the picture anywhere else within the photo or to another photo. So decisions have to be made at the beginning. The font style and font size have to be made at this stage, not later on, and not everything will become active for you in this particular tool. Okay, it's quite a complicated tool. So leading still works like it did before, where if you're normal text it's the distance between the lines, and the tracking is a different distance between each letter. Colour is irrelevant because it's going to be the photograph itself that you will be looking at. I get weird things appearing on my monitor every now and then trying to show me things. Turn them off. So I'll start typing and I'll work at the bottom here. Immediately you click with your left mouse key, you'll get a cursor and your rest of your picture will go red. Red is the mask, by the way, and you're going to be cutting a hole effectively in that mask. Fourth rail bridge. Now if you're getting weird things happening as I am, I need to turn them off. Now I think I do that now, so I should be able to turn things off here. Maybe that's it. In theory I may have to start that again because immediately you start typing, whatever you fixed is going to be on there, so it's a bit of a problem, that. So let's just go back to T and just see if I can start again. I'm going to undo what I've just done. Go to undo, start typing again. I don't want, with this particular thing, sometimes you get things on like the strike through and stuff like that. So I've got regular text. Okay, they're all greyed out. I start clicking once with the left mouse key. I don't want strike through on, so it shouldn't be on now, so I'll do fourth. Yeah, that's it. Make sure that these are white. If they're greyed, it will work, so it becomes really difficult to undo once you start typing. So you have to make decisions before you start typing as to exactly what you want to be active as you type. So I don't want any bold, italic, underline or strike through, so I'm leaving them just white or light grey. So fourth rail bridge, there we are, fourth rail bridge. At this stage I can continue editing. Okay, I've got the option here of giving a shape to my text, which is called creating a warped text on the right hand side. So if I want to give a warped text, I've got to do it now. So let's do a flag, and I can change the amount of flag, okay, that I want to do, and I can then say OK to the effect I want, and I can say OK to the text. You'll notice that these other boxes are greyed, they're not doing anything. So I say OK. When I do that, I now have my text, but it's got marching ants around it. The marching ants mean that they're going to be cutting out your photo. So to do that, to cut out your photo, I have to go back up to layer, and I'm going to do a new layer but with a copy. So I'm going to layer via copy, and I now my ants will disappear, the marching ants, the marquee will vanish, but on the right hand side in my layers panel, because we need the layers panel open, I'll have my background layer, and now I've also got a new layer called layer 1. And this layer 1 is actually the text. So if I turn off the photo, you'll see the text underneath. To turn off the photo, you'll have a little magic eye. Just click it once with the left mouse key. You'll get a line going through the eye. To turn off the picture, to turn it back on again, you just click again once with the left mouse key, and there you have your photo back. I want to move that text so that I can see it, because at the moment it's in the same location as it was when I started, and the picture below is obviously the same image as the text. So I can turn that off and then move my text, and I can move it about and then turn the picture back on, and I now have Forth Rail Bridge in the sky. Okay, and I can move that around, because as long as I pick up on the text and not between the text, I can move the text around, because the move tool in my toolbox is on. So I've had the move tool on, and I can move the text as long as I pick up the letter. It's picking up the photo basically, not the background photo. I can continue changing the text only so far as the effects are concerned, or the styles. Now styles are, if I go into Window and I go to Styles, I now have things like drop shadow, or I can do inner glows and bevels, and I can do these sort of things with my picture. Okay, so you can do the same. You just click on them. I can go back to my layers panel options. If I click at the very bottom here, I've got layers, or under the window in the toolbar at the top I'd also have layers, and I now have an FX in my layers panel. Click on the FX, double click it with the left mouse key if you're using a PC as I am, and I can now do drop shadows. Just change the distance and the opacity, and maybe there we are, I'm getting a bit more of a distance. And you can change the colour of the drop shadows as well by going into the colour box on the right hand side here, set colour of shadow, and I can choose maybe a blue, or I could choose a colour from my photo, because I could do a pipette, but I will choose the obvious opposite of blue. I'll choose green, and I've now got a green shadow. I could put a glow into it, an inner glow or an outer glow, and that too can just give it a different feel. And I've done a bevel. I can make the bevel stronger, and I can do a stroke as well, which is traditionally black, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a different color again, and I could do that on the inside or the center or on the outside, which is normal. And now we have a part of my photograph, the text. I have to say OK if I'm going to be doing anything like that. Hang on, I'll just move the shadows a bit. I say OK, and I can now move that text around anywhere else on the picture that I wish to. But remember, it is a photograph, it's not normal text, so I can't go back to this box in the layers panel and double click and open up text options. It doesn't change the options I've made here. The choices I've made right at the beginning when I did the original selection of text and choices of text are fixed, and I can't go back and edit them. If I don't like the effect, I've got to delete it and start again. And to do that, you just drag the layer into the dustbin. Okay, so do make decisions. You have to make a decision before you start as to the font, the style of the font, possibly, certainly leading and tracking, and whether you're going to be doing shapes and whatever for your text. All have to be decided before you do the text, because afterwards it's too late. You can't re-edit. Okay, so have a go with that. It's a good one to use. This text can be moved anywhere within this picture and to any other picture as well. So it's quite a good way of just getting to understand how things move from picture to picture, or how you can move things around. Okay, have a go. Thanks for watching.